It is. It's podcast day. We're excited. We're digging out there. What have we got? Ooh, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking podcast day.
Takes you back to that time of when you remember what you were doing when you first listened to that album, or
What is going on, champions? That's right. Yes.
What up?
Podcast day. Two dudes talk music. Yes, and stew. I've been stewing on this shit all day.
What is going on?
Yes.
It's that time. Podcast time. Yeah, spill the beans, man. Spill the beans. We want it. We want this. The exclusive details.
What is going on, everybody? How you doing, my friend? You doing good?
Dude, I'm so good. It's Friday, Junior.
It's Friday, Junior. It's podcast day. It's payday for me, so I'm real happy.
And to that.
But yes, thank you everybody for tuning in. My name is Raf. This is my co-host Kyle, aka the Beer Buddy. He is hailing you with a shot. I will be cheersing you with my Coke because I got to drive later. And welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Music podcast. How you? You all right? It's not going down easy, is it?
Nah, feeling good now.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a pretty hectic week. For us. We've, Nuclear Vision dropped a video. In case you didn't know, we dropped the film clip for the new Rage. That's over on our channel right now. You can go and check that out, and you can head over to our sister channel on Metal Ruse if you want to check out Kyle's reaction to the video. I didn't do that one because it'd be a bit fucking weird if I was reacting to my own video. That's a bit stupid.
Yeah.
But Kyle gave a very glowing reaction, so thank you very much for your kind words on that, sir.
Dude,
I'm glad
loved
you
every
enjoyed
second of it. You know, like we said before, I love a good video with a good story.
Like a good story. We like a good story in a film clip.
Loved Brad's whole niche with that was the sort of offsetting with Kayla at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like that was the psyche that was sort of growing in the cage with Kayla. It was very cool. Not safe for work video. I dug it.
Yes. I should warn you. Do not watch this video at work. It is not safe for work in the slightest. But yeah, so that's out now. Go and check that on the Nuclear Vision channel. And like I said, we got reactions over on the Metal Ruse channel. So if you like reactions, if you like short form interviews, if you like gig reviews, if you like all that kind of stuff, album reviews, go and check out the Metal Ruse channel.
They're doing great work over there.
They got tons of shit covered, and we're on there sometimes too. So I don't know if that's a selling point or not, but you know, if you're sitting here and watching us for 2 hours, it might be a selling point. But look, let's get to the reason why we actually no. Sorry, before we get to that, we got our gig guide. I keep forgetting.
Got to do it.
Send us your gigs.
Come on,
if you guys have gigs coming up, send us the information, please. We would love to talk about them. We love to shout them out on the channel. And I've just realized there's another one that I have to get and throw into the list here. So while I'm bringing that one up, Kyle, do you have one for us?
Yes, Ram It Down Fest, people. It is going in full swing. We are doing our first Ram It Down Fest raffle. So when you buy a ticket, you get one free raffle ticket to go into entry to win one piece of merchandise of your pick from each of the bands that have merch on that night. And then, if you so wish, you can buy more raffle tickets on the night. We'll work out prices on that. So far, it's looking like one ticket for $5 and then 3 for $10. So I reckon that's a pretty good deal for a chance to win some merchandise from all the bands that will have merchandise on the night. And they're doing great work down there. It's going to be an absolutely stomping show at this next one. I'm going to bring up I didn't bring up my stuff. Do you want to go first and then I'll talk about the bands?
Yeah, sure. Well, I was going to shout out a couple of things there. So we've got coming up this weekend, there's a few big shows on this weekend. So you want to pay attention to that. We've got, first up, starting tomorrow, we've got Steel Assassins, which is looking pretty fucking stacked, if I do say so myself. That one's at the Bridge Hotel in Sydney. It's covering 2 days, and it's headlined by like Harlot and Silent Night, but you've also got a bunch of like real thrashy looking bands on there by the look of it. But I mean, I don't know a lot of the names, but the logos are telling me it's lots of thrashy kind of stuff. So bit of an old school vibe on there from that one. And in addition to that, this weekend, you've also got If that one's in Sydney, that's a good shout. If you're in Sydney, if you're in Brisbane though, if you're in Brisbane, you got a couple of good picks for this weekend. So Saturday, starting at midday, at the Wallaby Hotel on the Gold Coast, you've got Wallapalooza. This is the 13 years of Wallapalooza.
That's a pretty good shout.
And coming back bigger, better than ever. This thing is headlined by Cog and 28 Days. They got Butterfingers and Nuclear Vision's playing it, and Snake Mountain and Piston Fist and Adriatic. So many fucking incredible bands on this one. This is a massively
Piston
stacked
Fist will be
lineup.
coming in red hot after just finish it up.
Oh,
finish it
for
up
sure,
there,
they'll be
little
going
man.
crazy. They'll be going crazy. But look, if you're not going to be down around the Gold Coast on Saturday, and but you're going to be more around Brisbane, you might be looking to head to Sunk Lodo.
Yeah.
Playing at the Tivoli in Brisbane with Ocean Sleeper and our good friends in Red Beat.
Congratulations.
So I'm devoed that I'm playing a night the same night, playing a show the same night Red Beat's in town. If I wasn't playing my own gig, I'd fucking be there. And you all saw how we reacted to that new Sunk Lodo song, so I'd be keen as a motherfucker to check those guys out.
It's going to be a very good show.
That's going to be a hell of a show. So if you're not at Wallapalooza, be at the Sunk Lodo show. If you're not at the Sunk Lodo show, be at Wallapalooza for sure. And just something coming up that we got to shout out, because I think our next couple of weeks, or at least our next week's probably not going to be a live one, but coming up within the next kind of week or so, Devin Townsend's touring. So if you didn't know, now you know. Go and get your fucking tickets for that, because that one's going to be sick. I don't know who else is on the bill. Just looking at the thing right now, but it's it's Devin Townsend. You know who else do you need? If Devin Townsend's not selling you on the show, none of the supports are going to sell you on the show.
That's true. But yeah, Ram It Down Fest, they got Rust Storm at this Rust Ram It Down 3 on the 11th of November. They have Rust Storm, Azura, Virusent, Whisperhead, Terrorential, and Chronic.
Fucking Terrorential, man.
Yeah, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Terrorential's to go.
Yeah,
man,
dude.
I know.
Nicest bunch of dudes, eh? Nicest bunch of dudes going.
Funny story. I went to, when I was doing music at TAFE back in near on 20 years ago, one of the dudes that I was acquainted with through that was the guitarist in Terrorential.
Oh, wow.
So I can remember seeing those dudes back then.
Ooh.
If it's the same band,
I'm pretty sure.
maybe it's just a different band running the same name, but if it's
either way,
it might be the same band. But there you go. So that sounded like plenty of gigs to choose from this weekend, guys. Plenty of gigs to choose from. Get out, show some support for live music, because God knows we need it. It's coming back. It's coming in back strong, but it only is going to survive with your support.
Exactly.
So you definitely want to get out there and check that stuff out. But look, we've taken enough of that talking to each other and talking about things. Let's get to the reason why we are here today. Our amazing guests, they have released a couple of EPs, well, one EP and then a live EP, which you can check out now. They are working on a new album that I believe is meant to come out next year. As we mentioned, they are on the Steel Assassins show. So, perfect timing.
Yeah.
We have the absolutely insanely talented blokes from PYREFLY joining us today. How you doing, gentlemen?
What's up, guys?
Really good.
We got Dr. Evil in the middle with his cat there. Oh, there you go.
No,
She'll be back. She'll be back.
At least you took offense to that.
You need to sell 1 million tickets. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing?
This is great.
You having a good time? You having a good day? Having a good week?
Oh, yeah. I'm a bit over it, but yeah. Just looking forward to tomorrow night. We're going off.
I don't know about you
I'm
guys,
seeing-
but my week's been fucking mad.
I'm seeing the cast there. Is that?
I've been sitting at home doing bugger all, man. It's great.
Yeah. So what happened there? Well, how'd you end up in the cast?
I was about 5 weeks ago. I was over in Perth at a national hockey tournament and took a drag flick. The hockey ball hit me in the thumb and
Oh.
the bottom of it. So yeah, big thick glove on and everything. So yeah, that kind of wrecked the tournament and missed the gig down in Melbourne. What was that? 3 weeks ago.
He didn't even win the game as well.
No, I didn't
Oh,
even
no.
win the game. No.
Yeah,
And then we
massive
flipped
thumbs down all round, eh?
Big Ten comes out, wins 9 through the next game while I'm on the sideline. It's like
We've got a message.
Coincidence?
Maybe stick to music. I don't know.
Music
But
is king.
well, I mean, that would look. Hopefully, you're. How much longer till you're back and fully recovered?
Well, I'm playing tomorrow, so
Yes.
As soon as I could move these fingers again, I was like, I don't care. I normally play with a pick. I'm going to work this shit out. I'm in.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, no, I'm still about a month away from being fully fit again. But yeah, that's life.
Well,
It
there
is,
you go. So powering through the pain, making it
That's right.
work. Get out there and play for everybody that's going to Steel Assassins tomorrow. So,
Adios, mate. Adios.
well, yes. So thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. Now, Kyle put me on to you guys after he caught you guys at a show the other week, I believe.
I've heard about these guys
you-
kicking around for a long time, and I had the pleasure of meeting KJ while I was out at Ram It Down Fest 2, and we kicked it off, and I was like, you know what? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. And especially after they were the most fortunate enough people to pick up the Avatar support.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you guys. That's right. Yes, you
Yeah,
guys got the
so-
Avatar support. There was a whole
good
thing.
buddies.
So how was that experience for you guys?
Fucking
So
awesome.
if Firefly ends tomorrow, I'll be telling this story till the day I die.
Yeah, that was absolutely mental. So I shot an email off to AJ Matter like months before, saying like, "Hey, if you need someone for Avatar, let us know." And reasonably so, he didn't respond because we were a nobody band. I believe Our Last Enemy got it, but unfortunately, the guitarist broke his hand while they were moving, which I'm gutted for them. But then Utopia Music put up a post, and it was it very quickly was evident to us that there was a lot of people supporting us. So our name was getting tagged left, right, and center in that, and it was crazy to watch. And then I'd get an email from AJ saying, "Hey, can you guys be ready in 2 days?" Yeah.
Yeah, this happened like 3 days before Avatar came. So
Yeah, that's why that's it.
my phone.
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
was
we already
actually
had
meant
tickets
to
too, so we're already going to be there.
Yeah.
I was meant to see their first show at the last Iron Spokes Brewery show. And that's where I was meant to see you guys, but on that same night it was the Avatar show, and that you picked up that slot. So I was like, I don't get to see him, but at the same time I was like, they at least got the good slot.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. Like, I'm so stoked that you guys had that opportunity, even if it was a last minute thing.
That was a great night.
because,
I love those bunch of dudes.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, it was great.
And I think that's something that so many bands, like, obviously we kind of want to get to that stage and get these things happening for our bands, and it's it's always nice when the opportunities come by and you're able to jump on them. Like we just did, like Nuclear Vision. We just had the New Metal Mayhem tour. We did a couple of shows on that, which was the Waylon Rivas and Anders Kolsevny stuff,
Pain.
and that
I'm
was.
so disappointed I missed that.
Oh, he didn't
was
get
that
to
good?
catch it, man. Very, very impressive live shows from all bands involved. Definitely, yeah, you definitely missed out on a hell of a show all around.
Oh
with
yeah, I
that one.
heard great things.
But there's some cool videos of that happening online as well, so you can still go and check them out and get a little bit of the vibes. But well, that's awesome though. I'm so stoked you guys had that opportunity to open for Avatar. Tell us. Let's go back though. Like, I want to hear about how did PYREFLY get started as a project? How did you guys kind of come to know each other? And just can you take us through kind of the life of the band so far?
Well, PYREFLY started in we put it together in 2016 initially. It was myself and the first drummer, Katrina Tuffy. We just wanted to play music again because, like, she was in Kunvuk for years before that.
That's a
And,
bit. I don't mean to interrupt your story, right? But that is a band whose stickers I have seen all across New South Wales at rest stops and venue and everything. That is a band that I just I know purely by reputation of the stickers more than anything
She
else.
still had those stickers well after the band stopped as well.
And she put them all out there.
Yeah, but So we started that, and then because we were all teaching music, we weren't playing music at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we, Andrew's been one of my closest friends for the longest time ever. So we got onto him, and Katrina brought her boyfriend at the time, Robbie, and then we just started jamming for a year. We didn't really do much other than rehearse. And then when we were ready, we played really, really, really shitty gigs at places like CC's in Campbelltown for 3 people, and had the time of our lives. It was fucking great.
Man, those are the best ever. It's where you cut your teeth.
Yeah, that's it. It was fun, and it was carefree and relaxed. But unfortunately, in February of 2018, Katrina passed away in a car accident. So we had to figure out what to do from there. Initially, we disbanded. We didn't really make any steps forward. But then it got to a point where we realized that Katrina would have hated us forever if we had let that die on her account. So we got back into it. We got our current drummer, Alanis, and then we went through a couple of bass players before getting to Trent. And it was hard initially. It was very, very fucking difficult.
Yeah.
It took us
Can't even
ages to
imagine.
actually take off. And then we were ready. We're like, okay, let's fucking do this. And then COVID hit. But in the last year and a half, thanks to the support of people we've known from when we first started through to people we've met along the way, we've just had win after win. Dave Balfour from Metal Evolution just kept throwing us bones. Fucking love Dave.
Love Dave.
Team Dave.
Love Dave.
He got us onto a show with Hazmat last year.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it's just been, gig after gig after gig, getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, all it takes is one good gig to start your momentum.
Yeah, one good show.
Definitely.
That's all you need.
Definitely, yeah. Shout out to Dave, man. Dave's been working real hard trying to support the metal scene for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I think it was the first time I met Dave. Had to have been like 2008, 2009 thereabouts, I think.
Yeah, well.
I was playing bass in a band. Can't even remember the name of it because I wasn't in it for very long. I wasn't in the band for very long. I was doing the Tensions Arise stuff, and this was kind of like just another thing. I saw someone advertising they needed a bass player. They're like, "Look, we've got a gig in short order, and we kind of need a bass player."
That's where I know you from.
Yes,
The penny drops.
Yes.
I've been looking at you going, where do I know you? Tensions Arise. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, beard, black shirt. Where do I know him from?
And yeah, so I was and this other band was like real like 80s like Twin Guitar Attack, classic like thrash metal era type stuff. Right up Dave's alley, basically. And he kind of hooked us up with a couple of shows at stuff, but yeah, that one didn't last very long. But yeah, that's how I kind of first came to meet Dave, and I've always, I just kind of encountered him on and off since then. But he's such an amazing dude. He's someone that we should reach out to for the podcast. I reckon we should get him.
Absolutely.
It's the loveliest dude. He's been a huge champion for PYREFLY for the longest time.
Every time we've needed a bone, like when we first started coming back into the scene after Katrina and after that first round of COVID, he threw us on Steel Assassins 2 years ago, and then
That was the show that got us going.
Yeah,
that really was. That was that one show that kicked it all off again.
it was. But then COVID happened again, and he gave us another shot with Hazmat, and now we're gearing up to play Steel Assassins again 2 years later, and we're a completely different fucking band. It's just. I know it's been insane, the stuff that we've experienced in the last year and a half, really. Like we've gone from just being Sydney kickers to having gone around and we've seen different parts of the country. We've met some of the coolest fucking cunts you've ever met in your entire life. And we've sat backstage with Avatar and all these things that as a kid I just never would have imagined. Like,
Sign the wall with them in the bloody.
yeah, it was signed a wall in the fucking metro with
Yeah.
Avatar.
Yeah,
I-
must stress, coolest fucking dudes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
nice.
awesome.
And it's absolutely insane to think about how much has happened, and we haven't really been thinking about it as it's been going as well. It's not the kind of thing that you go, okay, let's get the next thing, let's get the next
Yeah.
step. It's always been next gig, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, we didn't have the chance to freak out about Avatar. It was just 2 days later we had to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like a week later, we had another gig, and it was the same old grind, but it was great.
Yeah.
Once we got up there, I thought I'd be really kind of stunned by the amount of people in front of us. But what really shocked me was, we got out there and it was just doing what we do. It didn't matter how many people were in there. Like I've always tried to, like, whenever we play for an audience, if it's like 10, 100, whatever people, I always try and make it feel like the audience can fit in the palm of your fucking hand, So like the amount of people didn't really matter. We just had a fucking blast.
That being said, we would recommend a crowd that size.
Look, but that's the thing. Like, I like that mentality though, where it doesn't matter the crowd size, right? Like, this is something that I think I've seen a lot of people let themselves down by having the attitude of, oh, it's it's not a very big crowd, or there's not that many people here, so I'm not going to put the effort in, right? Like, you see them all the time. You guys have been around long enough. I'm sure you've seen them. You get these bands where it's like, it's early in they're the first band and it's early in the night and there's like maybe 5 people in the actual room. So they're just
we
like,
actually started a gig.
I'm not going to give a fuck.
With 4.
Yeah.
We ended up with about 14 by the time our set was done. That was a
Yeah.
Wi-Fi in the stairwell issue. They couldn't pay and get through the door. There was plenty of people pissed in there that couldn't actually get in and see us. But yeah, we finished with 14 odd people.
Yeah, it doesn't mean like why throw in the towel? I mean, like, even if you've got 5 people, that's 5 more people that you've got to impress and get on board.
Exactly.
I want to connect individually with everyone in that audience. So if I've got 10 people, it's easier than 100.
Yeah, and it's just like
those 5 friends tell their 5 friends, and their 5 friends tell their 5 friends, and it just keeps on rolling like that.
And you never know who they are.
People will talk about you if you're good, but they'll talk a lot more about you if you're bad. So
yeah, and it's like I said, it's just you don't know who those people are. You don't know what connections they have, right? Like if unlikely, but if the right person's in the crowd that has the connections and wants and sees your band, and they see, okay, like they make mental note, like, oh, there's not that many people here yet, like let's see how they do. And if you're up there going, oh, there's fucking no one here, we're not gonna we'll just go through the motions, that's obvious to the crowd, that's obvious to anyone watching. But if you're up there and they're like, fuck, there's 5 people in the room and these guys are going as hard as if there's 5,000, like, people take notice of that.
I think there was a story about I think it was the Police on their first American tour. Like, they played some venue with 3 people, and one of them just happened to be a radio DJ, and they played their asses off, and got on his station and
that's you never know who these people are, or who's going to walk in during the set, and all this stuff.
And even if they're a nobody or just a regular punter, they're paying to see you. You owe them to put on a good show.
And that's the other side of it too. That's definitely the other side
too. Who's there really? I mean, they could be a massive promoter. They could be someone who just wants to see the music. Either way, I'm putting on the best show I can for them. Yeah. Like, if I'm not doing my best, I'm not having fucking fun, and that's why I'm doing it. Like,
I need to because it's fun to do it.
Yeah.
Like, sure, she not doing this for the money.
Oh yes, we say it at nauseum.
All the time we say it, like
24 million, heavy metal. We're suckers for punishment. Like,
yeah. We're in a shit location with a small market doing a niche genre.
It's never going to be a cash cow.
Yeah.
So I'm a high school teacher and a singer in a metal band. Money is not important.
So how does that may I ask what subjects do you teach?
I'm a music teacher.
Music teacher. Okay, cool. So do you find that gives you a bit of credibility with the students, that you're actually like doing something kind of cool like that outside, or is it just like you're a teacher, you're a nerd, whatever?
It depends. Like at my old school, there was a lot of metalheads, and the kids just naturally found us. So it was there was this sort of connection through the music because we liked the same music as well, I liked the same music as those kids, but those kids liked the music we were making. At the school I'm at now, completely different. Like I'm at Liverpool Boys High School at the moment, and it's a very hip hop driven school.
I would
So,
imagine Liverpool, yes,
yeah,
probably.
like there's like one kid in the entire school that likes heavy metal, and every day he comes up to me to remind me that Tool exists. And
Poor kid.
I mean, power to him. Like, no, that's where he's.
Well,
Yeah, that's where his heart lies. But
See,
the rest of the kids,
this
they
is where you
like
need to find the crossover stuff. You need to find like,
Perfect circle.
yeah, you need to find like the stuff that you know that Korn did with like the rappers back in the noughties and the late '90s. You need to find like the Limp
Collision
Bizkit
course with
stuff.
Jay-Z
You need
and
to
Linkin
find
Park.
like all this like crossover stuff. That's
You got to give him significant other and just go. You can thank me later.
I've done that with Body Count.
yeah,
Ooh,
body count, absolutely. Good
nice.
shout, good shout.
That's a very good
But
shout.
what I end up doing usually is I just encourage them to do it the way I did it. Find your own thing. Walk to your own beat.
Yeah.
If you think Post Malone is the greatest thing on earth, cool. Be greater than that.
Post Malone
Yeah,
is
like
pretty good.
He is, and like I've learned a lot about music from the kids as well. But the thing that I find that I bring to the classroom as a result of this is like, teaching them the importance of having a good EPK, how to connect with promoters, how to talk to other bands, be polite and fucking be on time, stuff like that. Like professional things that they're actually going to use. And
Yeah,
what I'm finding is I've got kids that are coming up with like logos and album art and video clip ideas for songs that they're writing in year 8. Like it's insane, and it's because I'm not coming from an academic place. I'm coming from a professional place. Like
yeah.
I finished school on Friday and I go straight into this. So why not take that? Here's what's worked for me, kids. Go do it. And a lot of the time, I end up hearing some things that, like, well, it's not what I would listen to. It's stuff far beyond what I thought 12 and 13-year-olds would be capable of doing.
And that's it. Like
That's
we,
man.
you know, like after kind of finishing up with with Acid Nymph and doing all that stuff in like the mid 2010s, I kind of wasn't doing music for a bit. Not like it's the same way that I had been. So I wasn't out at tons of gigs and stuff.
Mm.
And then once I moved up to Brisbane, started doing doing music again and got out and started being at gigs a lot more. It really struck me how much more knowledgeable and how much more understanding of the industry that the current generation coming into the scene is. These kids that are 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever. And yes, there's still plenty of them out there that are like have no clue, right? Just like a lot of us did when we came into it. But there's so many more of them nowadays that know. They're savvy to what's going on. They're savvy to the best ways to market their stuff and to get their ideas out there and to approach the current state of the industry. And the talent that I'm seeing in these kids that are coming into the scene now is just fucking unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes me really happy to see that because I was at these gigs and then I started meeting people and I realized I'm like, some of these motherfuckers were not alive when I started playing music.
One of these
Oh
local
my
bands that we
God,
play
that's
with, they're called Black and Rose. The guitar player is just incredible.
Oh yeah,
Holy shit!
yeah.
He looks like he doesn't even he's doing the most incredible shit you'll ever see, but he looks like he's just not there. Like he's shredding away, and he could make an order for a burger or something like that while doing it. Just I'll have a triple cheeseburger with blah blah blah. It's insane. But you're right. Seeing these younger kids come up is absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
I'm at a point now where some of my old students are doing stuff like the Tomorrow's New Format, a band that we've played with a fair bit. Their new vocalist Brooke, she's a former student of mine.
Okay.
Fucking incredible. Like,
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
this is a kid that I saw that showed up with like awkward as hell in high school. Really found her own towards the end, and then disappeared for a couple of years, and now she's come back playing with the bass player of Hazmat. You know, like
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cradle and the silver spoon.
Yeah, and it's great to see like and this is kind of makes me happy as like a fan of heavy music, because you're looking at what's happening in the industry in Australia and in the scene, and it's it's in good hands. You know what I mean? It's like the not that I think any of us have any claim to be caretakers in any kind of way, but you know, you always want to know that, like, because you know it's hard. Like you kind of look at it and you're like, the scene's going to a bad place, or it's whatever, and you kind of you always want the scene to do well. I think, and
absolutely. I mean, like heavy metal, it comes in waves. It never goes away, but you know, it has its peaks and valleys. And I think we're starting to see a resourance in heavier music now. Ever since that one episode of Stranger Things aired, you know the one.
Yeah.
Heavy metal fans are like heavy metal fans are fans for life as well. Like there's like you don't. I saw someone say somewhere. You don't see someone who's just like a casual Slayer fan, you know. You don't see the. Yeah, I was into Slayer once. You see the guy with Slayer carved into his chest. You know? Like I guarantee, if I'm walking down the street and I see someone in that Slayer shirt, I'm yelling at them and they're yelling back. It's a good time.
Let me put it this way. I don't think any other band's fans have rioted at a music festival in Australia because their band cancelled last minute.
You could not have paid me enough fucking money to be the guy that had to go out and say, sorry, Slayer's not coming.
You leave a pre-recorded message on the plane out of there.
That's it.
Mate, I would have walked up with one of those riot shield things. So it would have just been it. I just would have walked up like, okay.
Right, guys, don't be mad.
I've got something to tell you.
Outside, it's been a lovely day so far.
Yeah. You know that band that you've all got like tattooed on your backs with giant fucking things. Yeah, they're not here.
Ain't coming.
But no,
give you a reason.
You're right. I think that, and look, you know, obviously people grow and change and evolve over time, and like, you know, their interests wax and wane in various styles. But I think, and the thing that I always try and remember is being a musician, being in a band, in the scene like that. We're surrounded by a lot more other musicians than the average person, right? Like, so many more of our connections are the other musicians that we're playing with, and people that are in the scene and in the business. So we kind of end up with a skewed view of it. But I'm just so encouraged by the talent that's coming up nowadays, the drive and knowledge of the industry that so many of these bands have, and you know, I'm stoked because I know that some of these bands are going to make it big. I know that some of these bands are going to really make their mark on the Aussie metal scene, and when they do, I can kind of be like, I was there at the start. Like, I saw these guys at the start before they were doing all of this stuff. So it just makes me happy to see that that's where it's heading, you know?
Well, that's why people end up becoming so stagnant in their music. Because you worry, and you're like, no, I don't want to like the new stuff. I don't care for it. But you find, man, these young kids are doing the old school in a new way, and I love every bit of it.
You have to stay on the hunt. You have to stay on the hunt for new music. I think if you're not on the hunt for it, you don't find it. But
these guys, for me, they've opened my eyes, because I'm the 90s guy, right? I grew up in the 90s. It was Metallica and Pantera, and, you know, there was, got into Trivium and Machine Head, and, you know, there's been other bands through the years, but, you know, you kind of keep going back to the well, don't you? You go, there's always those 20 albums that keep rolling through. Nowadays, that's not so much albums all the time. It's just whatever's in your stream. But these guys open my eyes. Like, these guys are the ones that introduced me to Devin Townsend. And I'll tell you what, fucking isn't that an eye-opener? And I was like, yes. And I didn't get tickets.
Strapping young lad.
Yes.
Anyone's got a spare ticket, take me.
We got our tickets.
I forgot because I'm old. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm old, and then I pulled an old one on that one. But that's been, like, these guys have put me on to so many new bands, and even beforehand with the guys I was playing with before, I was always asking, what are you guys listening to? And I'd go and listen to it. And some of it I thought was shit, and some of it I still listen to now. Like, that's how I found Jira.
There you go.
No,
You know?
Gojira. I'd Gojira as well.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
He's
go.
got the avatar tattoo that got us the show.
There's
There you go.
Avatar
Nice.
there.
While we mentioned a name as well, we mentioned him a couple of times in the podcast. Devin Townsend, super nice dude.
Oh yeah.
Super nice dude. I was fortunate enough. I got to meet him at a signing when he was doing a tour for the Empath album.
Was that the what's it called? The Night with Devi?
I think that was the tour. Yeah. And I was doing a signing at Guitar Factory in Parramatta, and I happened to work like not too far from there, so I found out that was happening like the day before. Rejigged my lunch break to get down there and get a chance to meet him. And yeah, super nice, super humble. He just and he's the streams he was doing during COVID as well, like kind of learning how to run his own streams and do different camera angles and effects on everything. And he used like jury rigging cameras to oscillating fans so that like the camera angle changed and it wasn't just a static shot. Like things like that. Like he just is. I mean, you listen to his music, and he's clearly a guy who knows how to do his own thing and be comfortable doing his own thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Like who puts mewing kittens buried in the mix on a metal album? Like
It's his thing. He can do whatever he wants with it. It was
Exactly.
a very fascinating interview with Rick Beato with John Petrucci and Tosin Abasi when they were doing their thing together. The way he talks about how he writes music is it's so foreign but so fascinating.
To be able to glimpse the mind of some of these people is just
That's the beautiful thing about the internet now. They all got a platform just to sit there and nerd out and just talk as much as they want. And especially now that people are like, can we get two or the three of these people in the same room? I wonder what they talk about. Bang, podcasts.
Yeah.
God, love podcasts. Andrew and I actually used to run a podcast
Briefly.
many years ago. Not many years ago. It was a COVID baby. Everything created was a COVID baby.
yeah.
But yeah, it was revolutionary. It was three white guys drinking and watching movies and then talking about them.
Oh,
No
wow,
one's
I
ever
don't think.
done anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever been done before, guys. Like
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah, no, we caught him the market on that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
look,
really
I mean,
great.
like we're the first two dudes to talk about music. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah, and we are honoured to be here.
Yeah.
We're just two dudes smart enough to use the name.
So, like, I gotta say, because when when Kyle kind of was like, "Hey, we're gonna get these guys for the podcast," I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll go and check it out." And I'm like, I was immediately struck by like the vibes that I'm getting from the EP that you guys had out was like Mastodon, Baroness, like right in that kind of pocket. Is that what you guys were shooting for with it, or were you going like a different
Look,
kind of?
I was listening to a lot of Mastodon and Baroness as I was writing a lot of those songs. So there you
There
go. Like, well spotted, by the way. Well done.
It shows. Like it that kind of really comes through in some of the way, not just the riffs themselves, but like the way the songs are layered and flow and the journeys that they take.
I love guitar parts like this. You got a guitar part down here, guitar up here, bass down here. It sort of like really expands your mix.
Yeah.
Incredible.
You kind of orchestrating it a bit more rather than just everyone's playing the riff. You know,
I just like
straight-
yelling about stabbing people. Also,
Yeah.
here's my Mastodon tattoo.
and and I mean as well, like definitely there was almost there was some Gojira type elements as well that I was picking up too throughout that. So it's definitely
Where are influences on our sleeve? Exhibit A.
oh, without a doubt. Like and if anyone watching is a fan of those bands and you've not checked out PYREFLY, go and fucking check these guys out because that's absolutely what you're gonna get.
I'm just impressed you know who Baroness is.
Look, they're not. Look, they're not someone I go out of my way to listen to, right? Like I'll say that just to, if they're on, cool, but I won't ever kind of put their stuff on myself. But they're solid. I think I saw them opening for Metallica.
Yeah.
Yes, about 10-ish years ago, I think.
Yeah, 13, I think. Yeah. So they're on
when it was Metallica and Lamb of God. Yeah, Metallica and Lamb of God, and Baroness was the opener.
Oh, yeah.
And
In fact,
Yeah.
I named that track the Baron after Baroness. It was like a working title that just stuck.
Well, there you go. So it's
Yeah.
but yeah, like the Mastodon vibes are there, absolutely. The Gojira vibes are there. So really, really digging what was going on there. But you mentioned that we mentioned before. You told us beforehand. You guys are working on is it a full length album to come out next year?
Yeah, full length album. We're going to re-record some of those because they were sort of just demos that we threw together during COVID. We're still learning how to record and how to do all that. So we're going to sort of go over those ones, put in some of the ones that we've been doing live.
Very nicely done for something that's done while you're learning. By the way, I got
Thank you very
my
much.
compliments on that.
So
COVID did a
you guys
lot for us.
moving forward, are you guys going to do everything in house?
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do when you're not in a time constraint in the studio.
Well, yeah, and especially if you can record good.
Yeah, all it takes is the right equipment, and we're fortunate enough that, we've been a part of building studios, and I built the recording studio at school and all that shit. I know about sound treatment. Andrew just knows everything.
Coming back to all these young kids being amazing musicians. Like, there is so much information out there on the internet that's just readily available for free, so you can learn if you just seek out that knowledge.
Yeah.
So we just watching a bunch of music production videos, like learning how to track guitars and how to layer stuff.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say the generation that's coming into the scene now, like those 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, they've been the YouTube generation.
Yeah.
They've grown up knowing and understanding just what YouTube provides and what the range of information that you have access to on that platform, and they are not afraid to use it.
The next magazine to come out the next month for the next lesson.
And you've got to hope that article's in there and that they talk about what you want.
Yeah. Country licks.
Exactly. So I mean, yeah, that's awesome. Like, I'm really, really stoked that you guys are that are getting on board with that, and more and more bands are taking that route. And as long as you've got the right ear and trusting people that you can get your external opinions from as well when you do need them, I think it gives bands more control over what they're producing and what they're putting out, for better or for worse. It allows bands to stand and fail on their own merits sometimes, and you'll release stuff, and then you'll go back a year later and you'll be like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have changed that or done that differently.
Yeah, but
that's always the case.
$10,000 recording something in a bloody
and you can still
doing
have
the same thing and going,
exactly.
That was a decade wasted.
Yeah. So
we're lucky that we've got good, reliable ears around us as well. I want to give a shout out to our man Mick Goddard, Mick G Photography on.
Hey,
good old Mick.
He's the entire Goddard family's been massive supporters of us. Like, we when Katrina was alive, we were all good friends with the Goddards, and spent a lot of time with their son Kai.
Shout out to Kai.
Absolutely. Okay, so with Kai, I was his music teacher in high school for a little while, so I can tell you exactly how he's doing now. The little motherfucker is doing great. He does have his regular health issues from the bad ticker, but he's playing baseball now. He's playing fucking sports. Like, he's running around with his friends and shit. It's fucking amazing.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
We've got that entire family. If we write something and we send it over, hey, what do you think of this? If it sucks, they'll say, yeah, no, it's shit. Like, they're really
you need those people around you, man.
You do.
Absolutely. I don't want yes, man. I want someone to tell me if something blows chunks.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. I'm so glad that you've got that amazing support network around you, because it's very, very important. And having people that just, like we said, if you've got people that just say yes all the time because they're your friends and they're worried that you won't like them if they say that they don't like something you've done, it's not helpful for your development as artists. And I've had people that I thought I was friends with, and they've shown me stuff that they've done, and I've given honest, constructive feedback. I was never like, it's terrible. I was always like, trying to give feedback on stuff and be like, hey, look, just yep, it's cool. I dig it, but I think maybe, it could be a bit like this area could be a bit better, or I'm feeling like maybe it's not got the right kind of energy about it, or, just giving positive. And they were like, oh, not everything can sound like the old stuff, bro. Like, fucking, bro, just fucking. And then, then they got shitty and it, kind of kills the friendship. And I'm like, well, I'm never just going to say that I like something just because you're my friend.
Oh, yeah, they just want to hear yes in a different voice,
If that's what, like, and that's spoiler alert. Like, if you're my friend, if I know you and you want to show me your music you've been working on, fucking cool, show me. Like, I'll give you honest feedback though. Like, don't show me if you just want a yes man. Like, I can't.
If you're friends with someone, you don't want your friends going out and making an idiot of themselves with something that's shit.
Exactly.
And it's not even. I mean, it's not even that it might be shit, right? It's that it might be like, I might listen to something and go, look, it's decent. There's a lot of potential there. I feel like it could be improved in X, Y, Z ways. But it's kind of at the point now, even where if someone shows me something, I'll be like, okay, do you just want to show me? Do you just want me to hear it, or do you want my opinion?
Yeah.
Do you actually want to critique, or do you want to? Yeah, bro, good job.
Yeah, you remember the first couple of episodes of each season of Australian Idol? You'd always get that one guy that gets up there, blows chunks, and gets pissed off when they say they didn't like it. It's like, oh, my friends say I'm great. It's like, well,
exactly. That's what leads to that.
Yes.
That kind of behavior leads to that. And, people, I think, and look, fair enough. Like, whenever I'm showing stuff to people, I'm always going to be open to try to be open to feedback. I try to be open to critiques on that stuff, because you have to be.
You gotta have thick skin in this industry.
And it's easy to get caught in this thing of, I've put a lot of work into this, therefore it's good. I've put a lot of time and energy into this, therefore it's good. That's not necessarily the case. And
I've had songs I've put hours into, and I've listened to at the end and gone, "Fuck this!" I hate it.
I wrote a 14-minute magnum opus, and I've listened to it recently and gone, "Yeah, this sucks ass."
Exactly. You got to know, and as much as we can be our own worst critics, sometimes, we can be our own sycophants about it. We can be our own yes men about it sometimes, and it's important for our development as performers and musicians and as podcasters and as people to be open to feedback and critiques on this stuff.
By the way, this giant dickhead here is Spud.
Hey, Spud.
What's up,
hey, Spud? Spud.
A beautiful, beautiful boy. He's giant, and all he knows is love. He thinks he's about this big.
Yeah. All big dogs do. All big dogs think they're lap dogs.
Really?
Yeah, he was over here on my lap for the first part of it, and then
yeah.
I thought we might get half an hour out of him, and that was very cool.
He loves to break crotch at the moment.
It's not that kind of podcast.
I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes. You guys keep going, and when I get back, we will go to the first segment.
Yeah, no.
So, Kyle, do your thing, and I'll be back shortly.
And now the weather.
Weather was
this
fucked.
is where the content falls off the cliff.
I love it when content falls.
Talk to the audience.
No. So obviously, with the album coming out next year and stuff like that, and are you guys worried that doing it all in house you might overdo it because you're sort of not working to that kind of time frame, if you know what I'm talking about?
We unlike dogs, we know how big we are. So
pretty good's gonna be good, right?
So yes, we're not sort of like stuck to the time constraints of having 2 weeks to do it in a studio. It's a first album. You got to have certain realistic expectations for that. And I'm no Bob Rock, I'm no Rick Rubin or anything like that. But I just want to sort of just get the tracks down, make it sound as good as we can get it, and then just put the music out there at the end of the day. I don't want to sort of deliberate over it for the next couple of years, trying to get the right mix and whatnot. I just want to, lay down tracks, layer the shit out of it if I wanted to, but ultimately just get music out there.
We do have a vision for it, and I think being able to do that completely, like if say it gets to 3 a.m. and I feel like laying down a couple of vocal tracks, I can. Like if an idea comes to me, I can throw it down, and we can always veto that stuff later. But we've got the freedom to be able to really experiment, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah, and you've got the whole thing of now too, being able to save stuff for later. If you don't want to use it on this particular album, you can save it for other stuff later on, and you can have like
I'm
a whole
constantly
storage
writing,
thing. And that's what you got to keep doing now, isn't it? Like you just got to keep on that grind. And are you going to go for a concert? Like obviously you're going to be. You said you guys are going to rehash on some of the old EP and stuff like that. Are you going to sort of go for a concept on the sort of album that you guys are looking for, or
this one is more just the songs that we've got. Like the songs that we've got, we've had a lot of songs that just haven't made the cut. They've done the live rounds and we've gone, no, that's not us, that's not us. What we've got now is a really refined version of what we want to be. And I think if we're looking at an overarching theme or concept, it's, I don't know, the album art that I'm putting together is very much, death and scary shit and plague doctor masks and all that bullshit.
Innovative stuff.
Yeah, no one's ever done it before. We're
breaking ground. We're taking metal into a new, darker, spookier direction.
Yeah, we've got scary shit on it.
Kind of the first guys to do horror style artwork for a metal album, right?
Yeah, it's gonna blow minds.
Absolute trendsetters. That's a genius.
Flowers, but
that's a genius idea. I cannot believe no one's ever thought of it before. I got to say, you guys are innovating on a different level here. Like, I think it's going to be setting the trend.
Next week, we're going to have a photo shoot of us looking grumpy in front of a brick wall wearing black shirts.
Yeah.
Y'all are killing the game. You're absolutely changing the business.
But like with that, like when I was younger, I was all about trying to be innovative and do something different and change the world. Whereas now, like this album is, we're gonna do what we enjoy and share that with everyone. And honestly, what I enjoy is spooky, macabre shit.
At the end of the day, when you think about the songs that we're putting on it, this is the crowd pleaser album that we're starting with. It's everything that we've done live, like you said, that has been really, really good when we've played it live, that people have enjoyed, they've got into. We've stuck with those ones, the ones that we've enjoyed playing, and we're bringing that into the album. So it's really us at high energy. Like, it's the best stuff that we've done over the last.
It's going to be this is us. Please like us. Please buy our shirts.
Like me.
And
hey, everyone already loves you. Everyone already loves you. Now it's just
you're
content, mate.
sweet, Kyle.
Yeah. Well, look, what I'll say is if it's anything like the stuff you guys have put out before, it's going to do great.
Massive.
It's going to do
I'm
great.
hoping so. Like, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, we just kind of make what we enjoy making, and it's still fucking mind-blowing that people like it so much. Like it's got to a point recently-ish where whenever we play a show, we're getting used to hearing that audience white noise at the end of it. And it's fucking, every time it happens, it catches me off guard.
We get people singing our lyrics back to us.
Fucking, how good is that?
Yeah,
that's always bizarre. It's always bizarre when it happens.
It is, but like it's
a good bizarre.
I always thought I'd get an inflated ego from it, but it's fucking humbling, Like I'm seeing people standing where I was standing a couple of years ago, feeling the same feelings that I was feeling a couple of years ago, and I get to connect with that. It's fucking amazing. There was a young girl at a show that we played in Penrith a few weeks back, and this was beautiful. So she her father brought her up to us at the merch desk. And she was fucking terrified. Like, she couldn't get a word out. And then, she eventually said that we've really inspired her. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, here, have a free shirt. Have another one. I don't care. Have it all. And then, we get up on stage. We're up on stage, and there she is, like, front and center. And her smile was out the fucking here. Like, if she turned around fast enough, she would have beheaded the cunt next to her. She couldn't wipe that smile off her face. And then when we finished, she was bouncing around, screaming about how she felt alive. And I'm like, this is what it's about, This is fucking mad. So, like, everything that we've done up until now has resulted in that. So with this album, I mean, that's what we want to capture. We want to capture that, the love for what we do that we have, and the love that we have of sharing that. As far as the artwork goes, spooky, macabre shit, you can never go wrong with it. When I was a kid, my favorite book was Tales of Terror, fucking spooky ass fucking thing. It used to scare the shit out of little 3-4-year-old me, but I couldn't get enough of it. So fuck it. That's the kind of shit that we're gonna do.
Yeah, do it. You
Screw
want to show
reinventing the
album.
wheel.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
And
And look, yeah, you're right. Like
green layered in there.
inspiring the you know, that's kind of look. Obviously, when we're young and we're starting out in music, the dream is that we're gonna like hit it big and be fucking,
Fill
you know, be able to
stadiums
tour the world and make a living off doing music and all that cool shit. And then once you kind of hit a point where you realize, okay, that's not very realistic.
That business model's
You know,
gone.
that business model doesn't really exist anymore. I'm just gonna try. You know, you can scale back your hopes and dreams for what you're doing. And once I kind of had that realization for myself, it shifted to, okay, gonna make music that I enjoy, try and advance where I can. You know, if I get opportunities to do cool shit, I'll try and do the cool shit. And like, you know, you get the few opportunities to support international bands, great. But the key thing in terms of legacy for me was always, 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 if I can inspire just a couple of kids, a couple of people, a couple, you know, like a couple, if I can just inspire a couple of other people to start playing music and for them to start creating music, I'm happy. You know, like I'm stoked with that because it's continuing the cycle. It's
I think that's why I was so excited about the Tomorrow's New Format thing with my old student Brooke taking over with that. Like seeing someone that like I taught how to perform now stepping up and doing it. It's mental. And like and for me it's that, but it's about the community as well. You know, like
yeah.
But again, growing up as a weird kid, like I didn't ask to be the weird kid. Like I just, you know, I chose to paint my nails and put black shit on my face and, you know, screw you to everyone. I thought I was an outcast, but it turned out I was just in the wrong basket. When I finished school, I found a large community of other weird kids, and then I figured out that the people who were making the music we were listening to, they were weird kids, and
Yeah.
so like we're all weird cunts making weird cunt music for weird cunts, and it's
Or
It's
we're
a-
just more honest about who we are.
Yeah, we
Oh,
go.
man.
There's no shame in it
Like,
anymore. We have a
we all have a
community.
place where we fit, you know, and metal is where we are. So being able to create that and bring people into this community that, quite frankly, has saved my life on more than one occasion. I love that. I absolutely love it. I could be selling tickets at a show, or I could be fucking just standing in front of a stage. I'd still be just as happy being here.
So shit, Kyle and I used to teach at this place called School of Rock just down here at MacArthur. And, you know,
I
you
was
get
just
a bunch
at
of...
one stage.
Yeah, you were.
Were you?
40
Yeah,
years
for
ago.
you.
Yeah. But, you get, like, you know, all these, you know, outcast kids or just popular kids, like all sorts of kids that, you know, they didn't necessarily want to do sport after school. They didn't really fit in much where else. But they come to School of Rock and they find their people there. You know, we've seen kids go out and form their own bands from that as well. And it's been fucking incredible. Like, they've seen these kids find their stride with music.
That's
Hey,
so
you're
good.
putting
That's
in the
so
work
great.
for the next generation. I love that.
I wish I had the patience to be a teacher. I wish I had the patience to be a music teacher.
It was
I really
rough.
do.
It could be rough, yeah.
I'm terrible with it. I'm like, I can do it, and I'm one of the dumbest people I know. So why can't you understand how to do it? I'm no good. I have no patience to be a teacher.
It takes a willingness to learn, you know.
Just shred the fucking solo, kid.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Okay,
Yeah.
for the
Just
last
be
time,
awesome.
it goes like this.
Yeah, I can do it, and I suck. So anyway, let's go to our first segment. Let's go to the first segment. Kyle, if you are ready, my good friend,
Let's
would you please hit the thing?
go.
That you could
Quick question
you do,
quarter.
you could do so you
Go.
Cool. So we are joining. Blah blah blah. Flip. Can't word good. Sorry, I had a long day.
Words are hard. Do a
It's time.
podcast
Blip,
instead.
blip, 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 blip. All right. Welcome to the quick question quarter, spelt with Q's, not K's, because we don't roll like that. And we are going to be finding out a little bit more about our amazing guest, PYREFLY, and who they are, and how they got started, and how they came into music. So, gentlemen, I would like to start by asking each of you, if I may, what was the first instrument that you learned?
Trumpet.
Triangle.
Guitar.
We went orchestral on the first two. I like
Awesome.
it.
Yeah, I'm
it.
digging
I
that.
like
I'm
it.
digging that. See, now you're gonna put trumpet and triangle in the album
I want
somewhere.
a triangle solo.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
easy, done.
I think I got one
Take
somewhere.
my eyes that way.
Yeah.
You're gonna put it in there
like a
somewhere.
trombone into one, so fuck it, why not?
Oh, there you go. Make it work. What was the first album you guys purchased?
That was the Black Album and Injustice for All, both by Metallica, all in the same hit.
I don't want to say.
Do it.
Say
No shame here.
There's
No shame.
here.
Wonderwall.
Yes.
Hey, it's not. Look, that's a first.
Like what you like.
Firstly,
Like what you like.
firstly,
I liked it 'cause it was
congratulations.
popular. Then I found Metallica and stopped liking that.
It's fine. I like Oasis. It's fine.
I
But
was Tomb of the
you know,
Mutilated.
you've hit a first here. What was your one, KJ?
Tomb of the Mutilated by Cannibal Corpse.
There you go. Going straight in with the hard stuff.
Wow.
Love
How
it.
old were you when you had that album?
I was 4 years old. My dad was a bit of a pissant, so we went to the shops and I saw the cover and went, "This looks cool. Can I have it?" And he was drunk and went, "Yeah, all right." So little fucking 4-year-old me listened to the words of "I Come Blood" and went, "Yeah, this is going to define me for the rest of my life."
Okay. I say this with all love. You look like someone who listened to Cannibal Corpse at 4 years old.
Without the tattoos and the dreads, I think I kind of looked like it then too.
Yeah, no, like by 4 years old, he had a full-grown beard.
Yeah.
My mum's actually got a picture of me as a baby with a beard edited on it.
Yeah, you guys, they're just listening to Cannibal Corpse at that age just like forces the hair out of your face.
It does. It
does.
puts
It
hair on your
absolutely
knuckles.
does.
Peaks your testosterone. Yeah.
What was the first live concert you attended?
Alanis Morissette.
Nice. That's a
Truly are a
first.
child of the
It
90s.
fucking holds up today. That was
Oh,
so fucking good.
yeah.
Truly are a child of the
We are.
90s. I love it.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
I
Yeah,
love it.
You are the love. Yeah.
Yeah, she fucking.
Hey, she was an angry woman, and she didn't give a fuck who knew it. Like
Mate,
she
the
was
biggest
there.
set of hair with the biggest windmill I've ever seen. She hit the deck every time she spun her head, and she did it for half the show.
Actually,
That's
our
awesome.
drummer Alanis, her mum named her after Alanis Morissette.
There you go.
Well, there you go. That's
True.
mad.
Look, Alanis Morissette had rock and roll energy in a time when it was really pushing against female singers presenting with that kind of energy.
Yeah, yeah, that's for
So
sure.
whether it came through in even though her music wasn't necessarily like rock focused, there was definitely that energy hidden amongst it.
And to be fair,
and
she
she
was
did
writing
say
albums
bitch
about
radio.
her exes before it was cool.
Yeah.
My first live show was the 2005 American Idiot Tour with Green Day, Jimmy Eat World, and My Chemical Romance.
Wasn't
I'm
that-
pretty sure
that was
my
at the
friend-
SCG, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I went to that show. The sound was horrible.
I recall it being pretty shit.
You
but
must have-
also,
Yeah, but
Well,
the show was amazing.
see, that's what I found. Like my friends thought I was into that stuff because they're like, "You like rock music," and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." And then I heard My Chemical Romance for the first time, and that was you couldn't like them as a metalhead then. So like I was there going, and then I just put on Helena by My Chemical Romance when no one was looking. And then I got to see them this year, and now I'm old and I don't give a fuck, so I shamelessly went and had a great fucking time.
That's like me with metal versus grunge. Like when I grew up, my second album was the Nirvana Unplugged album.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know. And
Yeah,
then
it's a
it
great
went
album.
into, I think, Black was the next album after that one. And since I was then firmly in the metal camp for every other CD I think I've ever bought in my life, I couldn't like Nirvana or Pearl Jam or anything like that. That was all grunge. Yeah, as a metalhead, like that was a big fight back then. Now I couldn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a
that's-
massive grunge head. I've always
something
always
else,
have
though.
been. I never gave a shit.
Yeah.
I
You
never
get to a
gave a
certain
shit.
age, you just stop standing on ceremony and saying, "Yeah, like it. I like this. Deal with it."
Yeah, like what you like. And
I mean, we talk about, that's something else about the kids that are coming up today is they just, the idea of
Gatekeeping.
only liking one genre it's really dying amongst the younger audience. Like they don't experience that the same way that we did.
That's kind of
Is that's the on-stage performance? Yeah,
I
that's the
love
stage
it.
move.
Honestly,
That's
yes.
just a taster. Yeah.
What? Dog, I'm not even kidding. Sometimes I pull shit like that because I can.
But
Like,
he slapped his own ass.
Horse makeup and shit. I'm there going,
Yes.
we're
The
metal
whole
with
thing-
jazz hands.
Look, look. The whole thing still does exist. Let's not say it doesn't. Amongst a lot of metalheads, but just enjoy yourself.
Yep.
Like, I don't care what kind of metal you're listening to, as long as you're listening to some kind of heavy music. I don't give a shit no more.
Segueing into my answer, my first concert was I think it was 2008 Machine Head on the Black Procession tour, and first concert.
What
fucking love
venue was
Machine
that
Head,
at?
sitting in front of the front row, right in the middle.
Was that at the Roundhouse?
Roundhouse? Yeah,
That was
at the
back end.
bleeding through in a mirror.
I was at that one
And,
too, and that was on the back end of a 360 something day tour. We were the last show.
Yeah, it was 2 years to the day since the Black Album was released, and it was the last show on their tour before they went into record.
Great record.
Great record.
That was the
Saying that was
loudest
one with
concert I've
the
ever
Muir?
been to.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that fucking changed my life. I saw people just letting loose, from all walks of life. I saw this skinny little lad kid with a bum bag just rocking out to it. I turned around and you remember the Star Wars kid from early internet doing these cartwheels in the garage?
Yeah.
Dead ringer for that guy, just doing kickflips right in the right in the middle of the pit, and this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, see, that album was the album that kind of really sold me on Machine Head. Like,
Yes,
I had heard a little bit of their stuff prior, and I knew that they were a big thing for a lot of people, but I don't know, I just kind of didn't quite get it. And then that album came out, and one of the guys I was studying music with at TAFE was like, no, you need to check out this album. And so I went and gave it the opportunity, and I'm like, I view The Blackening as, like, for me, I put it in the same category as something like Master of Puppets.
Oh yeah.
In that it is, if you were to say, show me one album that is a distillation of what heavy metal is in that decade, you could show them that album, and it'd be pretty damn close to. Like, there's other people would probably pick other albums, but for me, that's how I look at The Blackening in terms of just how good of an album it is, front to
100%.
back.
Sgt. Pepper's, Dark Side of the Moon, The Blackening,
Well, look, there's not a lot of albums where I like every single song. Like, doesn't matter what band it is. Doesn't matter what band it is. Can be my favorite band in the world. There's not a lot of albums that I like every single song.
Yeah, start to finish.
That's one of the ones where I like every single song.
Well, that one actually pulled me out of a bit of a void where I hadn't really listened to anything new for a long time, and I don't even know why I bought it, but I remember buying it and sticking it in my new Commodore at the time, and it was ramped up really loud when it went in to get the new sound system, and the dude putting the sound system in did not like that, which made me go, this must be good.
Yeah, as soon as you start pissing people off.
And
it's a good album if it pisses people off, right?
And I mean, the album is a journey as well. It's the songs go places. They're not just there. There's a lot of emotion behind some of them, especially with the one that's like not necessarily a tribute to Dimebag, but like a hate track about the guy that was hating on Dime or something.
So Rob Flynn falls for clickbait, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of the album it's sort of a culmination of so many elements, and that's why, like I said, for me, if you were to go, what is heavy metal in the noughties, I would say that, not just like metal in general, because there was so many kind of that explosion of subgenres, and you're coming out of the new metal era.
Heartache, Shogun, albums like that, just sort of just define that era. Shogun, there you go.
Yeah,
but it's also a testament, the song is as long as the song needs to be. You put on a song like Halo, that does not feel like an 8-minute song.
No. And they all go really well live too. Those tracks.
Yes.
What's an instrument that you've always wanted to learn?
Violin. Like, I bought a cheap, shitty violin a couple of years ago, played it once, put it down. But I'd like to probably...
That was me with the cello.
Mine was one I was supposed to play in high school, and I spent 2 lessons on it and realised that I really sucked and went back to guitar, which was saxophone.
Mm.
You're telling me we could have had sweet, sexy sax solos on my songs this whole time?
We could have.
Careless Whisper. Careless Whisper and Baker Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck, that's a hard one.
Well, they get trickier. Don't worry, we got you. Gotta
Yeah,
keep you
I
on your
mean,
toes.
Being a music teacher, I just kind of play a bit of everything. As long as you stay 1 week ahead of the kid, you're okay. I've always wanted to be able to play drums, and I can do a nice steady 4/4 beat. But I've been practicing the drums in secret for like 12 years now, and I still suck ass, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it takes
I don't know.
time.
I just want to be the best drummer in Firefly.
Drums are an asshole.
Currently, you're the third best.
You've only been the best drummer in
You haven't heard me yet.
All right. So we talked about you guys had an incredible opportunity to open for Avatar. Then leads us in nicely to this next question. If you could pick one big band or artist for PYREFLY to open a show for, now there's like no rules with this, right? This is living or dead, active or not, whatever your preferred stage in their career. Who would you want to open a show for if you had the opportunity? You could pick anyone.
God damn, you guys come up with good questions. The guy who wrote the Pokemon theme, hands down, I would love that. Because that song fucking slaps. We would play our set, and then that song would play, and that would be it, and we would be forgotten instantly. But I would get to witness it. So,
well, PYREFLY does sound kind of like a Pokemon.
Yeah, sure.
Jesus.
The very best no one ever was.
Now I'm trying to think about evolution names of PYREFLY. Like PYREFLY sounds like a good starter. Like maybe like a fire bug type, type or something, and then it goes.
Pyosaurus.
Pyosaurus, Rick. But a fire bug type, I can see that. Yeah. We've actually got glow in the dark fireflies that we sell in our shows.
Dude,
there you go.
Album cover.
It's like a Pokemon type.
Dude, like Pokemon style album cover.
Dude, that would be so left field.
That's such a legendary, you know.
That's something. That is something that we would do.
And then you can make limited edition holographic covers.
Yeah, make them look like Pokemon cards and everything. You gotta do.
We've got giant novelty Pokemon cards. They're about as big as your head, but that's got a Pikachu on it, not a fucking.
That's a joke. We're actually very, very small.
Yeah, we're tiny.
Yeah, that's just a regular Pokemon card.
And that dog's a Chihuahua.
It's the illusion of the stage. It's all smoke and mirrors.
It's all perspective.
All right. Well, that's a good shout. Okay, the Pokemon theme song.
Yeah,
who else?
Howard Shaw was it? Yeah.
Just like open for the Lord of the Rings.
For Lord of the Rings, that would fucking work. Nah, if it was 18-year-old me, it'd have to be Metallica, but I don't know if now that answer still holds up. But I think for my entire musical journey, that would be about.
It'd always be Metallica for me.
Yeah,
They've been like they were the band for me that got me in. Like in '97 when all the Reload stuff was coming out, and that was when I first heard them, and that was my gateway into it. And everything since like. I've found something to like about almost every Metallica album.
I loved Reload.
Yeah, I was a Load man. Load came out just as I started, but I first bought Black. I went, no, I've got to go with Black first. It's much better.
And I remember as a kid playing this Hot Wheels game, and Fuel was like the opening title track.
Yeah,
for that one. And so I begged my mum for a Metallica CD for Christmas, and I got NSYNC instead.
Well, what fucked me up is I had
the best present I ever got from my nan. Was she got me, it was Pantera's Far Beyond Driven and Slipknot album. I can't think of what it was now. And I opened it up and I went, Nan, you are a fucking legend.
Nan is a legend.
Both of them, obviously. But I've kept both of them in original packaging in a drawer just to go, Nan kicked ass and actually fucking listened.
That's
pretty cool.
And she's
pretty
still
cool.
cranking at 97. Just shout out to Nan, by the way.
Good on you,
Shout
man.
out to Nan.
Shout out to
Who won't
Nan.
be watching this podcast?
Here's to Nans everywhere.
Yeah.
Not mine. Mine's a fucking bitch.
Hey, that's what we try
alright,
and sell it.
did we-
Music you know will enjoy.
Yeah, quick
Alright.
questions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Never
Is
is.
that, get everyone or?
No.
No, I mean, like you said, Metallica.
To Malika.
I want to open for Danny Elfman just to see if he's as zany off stage as he is on stage.
I don't think as a teacher, I don't think I'm allowed to be in a room with someone that sings a song about little girls.
No, okay, yeah.
Like I have to distance myself from that, man. Like,
Bongo Bongo was weird. That or maybe like Mastodon Gojira, so that sort of vein.
Okay.
listen, Avatar that tattoo got us the Avatar one. So when Mastodon comes out, I'm ready.
Yes. There you go.
Love it. All right. You may need to break out your Spotify playlist for this one. Who is a band or artist that you're listening to at the moment that you believe is underrated and deserves more attention?
I'm going to come back to Baroness on this one. I think they just released a new album, Stone.
Well, they've been around for a while, and they kind of haven't. I don't feel like they've gained the profile
really
that they maybe deserve.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, yeah, they're solid as fuck. They don't sort of get me as excited as a lot of other stuff that I'm listening to. Is all it is, like they're functionally great. They're not doing anything that I think is bad. It just kind of doesn't excite me the way a lot of other stuff does. That's me personally, but I can see the appeal to a lot of people.
But I just about wore out my copy of the Blue record.
Yeah,
that album is just a fucking masterpiece for me.
Some like a lot of what I listen to is local stuff. So
Yeah, me
honestly,
too.
all of it.
Absolutely.
Yes, like
We have a Firefly and Powers playlist of all the bands that we've played with that we fucking love. So yeah, check that out.
I share that on the page regularly. But there's a band on there a couple of bands on there that I've been listening to a lot recently. There's Lucid Karma from Canada. They're fucking excellent. If you like Slipknot, you'll like them.
Ooh.
Crave from up in Queensland.
Hey,
love Crave.
love Crave
Shout out
here.
to Crave.
Big shout
We're
out
good
to
fans
Crave.
of them.
Coolest music. Hey,
Yeah.
I really want to play with those guys. So if you're listening, get in
Oh, we
touch.
can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll
we can
we'll
make
let
that
them know.
happen,
We'll
100%.
connect you guys up for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get you in contact with Sienna.
Yeah, they're trying
Excellent.
to. They're touring like pretty much constantly at this
Yeah.
point, so I'm
very
sure
busy
they'll
at
be
the
down
moment.
in Sydney at some
Nice.
point sooner or later. I'll let them
nice,
know to reach out to you guys when they're organising their next Sydney thing.
So summer's coming around, so I want to go to Queensland.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, come up here for sure.
We'll make sure. It
I'm
happens.
just going to say the album I chucked on in the car on the way over here, actually, and it is a suck up because they are a bunch of mates and we play with them a couple of times, but Autism. Those boys are just so much fun. Just absolutely such a fun energy. The boys are great. They'll have you over for a barbecue. They'll put a gig on for you. They'll fucking put a gig on for their own bloody birthday.
Yeah, we
Incidentally, playing at Steel Assassins on Saturday.
day two.
There you go.
Nice.
But we went down to Melbourne last for the bass player Name's birthday gig, and the kind of guy like he's a guy that believes in the community the same way we do. Like his whole thing is he'll find bands that have never had a gig before and just make sure they're on his shows, or like he threw his own birthday show and he refused to headline it. Like stuff like that. He's just like an absolute gem. I felt weird because he got us to headline it, and I didn't know how to respond to that.
He just wanted to get drunk while we were playing. That's all.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
dude,
sure it
that's the
was
best.
just because
Why am I going to wait to the end of the night to get drunk on my own birthday? That is a man
Sure.
with a plan, and I respect every single bit of the decision that was made. I'm
He plays the
assuming
bass on
I'm going to
100
go out
sheets.
on a limb here and say that he probably played second, maybe even third out of 5 bands. I reckon that he probably had on that night. Because
No, he played just before us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he played
it was
just before
5
us.
bands and he played before us.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but his missus makes cakes and stuff. So when we went down at the start of the year for Australia Day, every day it was a different cake. And I'm not talking just like makes a cute little cake. I'm talking she makes these extremely huge, elaborate things that like you'd see on the cake shows.
Fondling out the arse, all this cheap Sara Lee shit.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
like steps up and there's like an Australian flag cake, or there's like a cake in the shape of Ned Kelly's helmet or whatever.
For his
Oh,
birthday,
yeah, that's
he's
mad.
a big fan of Metallica's 72 Seasons, so she recreated the album cover out of Fondant.
That's
Yeah.
mad.
Damn.
That is cool.
Except
that
instead
is-
of all the stuff on the album cover, it was all shit related to him that was burning on it, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
before we played, I connected my phone up to my pedal board and played Ecstasy of Gold like Metallica do, and made him walk out for it so we could have that Ecstasy of Gold moment.
Yes.
That was so much
I
fucking
love
fun.
that.
That whole gig was fun. Probably because I didn't have to play bass because like I couldn't play that gig, and I just got to get pissed with him beforehand. And
shout out to my brother as well, actually.
Oh yeah, no,
my little brother learned the whole set in like 2 days and played bass for Trent.
That's awesome.
In a plate bearer mask that he couldn't hear or see at all. So
Yeah.
we fucked him up. Yeah, he did really well.
Because I wanted to do that thing where I'm like, someone else has come into the band. Let's we'll put a mask on him and all that, and like make it this creepy like spectre thing. And he couldn't see shit. He couldn't hear shit. He was fucked. He was Helen Keller up there.
Oh
man. What?
You made it work. You made it work.
Okay. What is something people may be surprised to learn about you?
Usually the teacher thing catches people.
I feel like we kind of already had that,
I'm an acupuncturist and massage therapist.
Whoa.
I'm singing.
No, that's not a surprise.
With a face like that, are you kidding me?
All right, I'll give you Andrew's surprise. Like, it makes sense when you hear it, but also like it's so fucking cool. This man works for Fender.
Dude, everyone want a piece of this shit.
Wow. That's very cool.
That's pretty cool, though.
That is very cool.
Oh yeah, like if you told 18-year-old me I'll be working for Fender guitars, I'd like shit myself.
He lives and breathes all of it. Like, he's just a musician through and through.
So if I want to hook up on that new like fancy ass fucking guitar thing, pedal thing, you just put out. Like, no, I shouldn't.
Yeah,
they're all right away.
They're all right.
What's happened is too late. Like a week before it came out, I had one. So.
No, I would never.
Do you mean this?
Oh, you.
There's 2 of them in the house.
There'll be 2 of them on stage tomorrow.
Nice.
It's so
That's
fun,
awesome.
man. It's so fucking fun.
No, that's cool though. I'm like, it's nice when you're able to get a job that ties in with your passion around music for sure.
Right up my alley. Yeah.
It's where he shines.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is, and we're starting to get to last couple of questions here. What is the cringiest band name or song name that you've ever been involved with?
Pretty much every working title we've ever had.
Those working titles are gold.
Nipple blades.
Take My Eyes used to be called Take My Ass. Fuck Me in the Ass or something like that.
Just fuck me in the ass.
I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it. Every time we have a band on here, it always goes to that, like the pre-names for all the songs are always these really like hypersexual,
Yeah. Like we wrote a lot of stuff on Guitar Pro. When you save it, it demands you name it. So you just like name it like a jumble of letters, or if you need to remember what it is, you have to like think of something. Like I've named something Cake Song, so it's like cake on the counter there, so it's the Cake Song now.
I usually just go with new song or new song 1, new song 2. There's like 50 of them.
So it says a lot about him.
Well, you know what I actually started doing for that to solve that problem, and maybe this is just like because I've worked in offices too long, but whenever if I'm like writing something in Guitar Pro, or I've hashed out an idea a little bit, but in Reaper and I don't have a name for it yet, I'll literally will just go, all right, well, like the date in reverse format, so I know when I wrote it, and then like A, so it's like the first one I've done that day, and then if I do another one later in the day, it's that, but then B, and I just like literally that way, you've got. You know how old they are immediately at a glance without doing anything else. Like I'm just
this man knows his shit.
Yeah.
Can I just clarify? I actually have no issue with it. I'm just merely pointing out the fact.
It saves you doing like new song 1, new song 2. And then you're like, how old are these?
Old new song. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
Cringiest band I've ever been involved with, just the band as a whole. They at first were called In Search of Sanity. One of those bands that has like a sentence for a name. And then we called ourselves Darkness Reigns, which was a little bit better. That I hated both.
Wait. What spelling of Reigns?
REIGN.
Reigns. Okay.
Darkness reigns.
Okay.
And I mean, like, to be fair, I don't really like core music that much, and they were core bands, so I
Yeah.
wasn't in my element anyway, you know.
That's
Very,
fair.
very fair. Very fair.
Anyone else?
All right. Move it. If you could? And I mean, look, I feel like you're the shortcut on this one because you're dealing with younger musicians all the time. But if you could give your younger self, one piece of music-related advice, what would
Practice.
it be?
Just stay the course. Honestly, every decision that I've made has led me to where I am, and I don't think I'd appreciate what I have as much if I did things differently. Like, yeah, I would tell younger me to stay the course, just keep doing what you're doing because everything that I did was because I loved it, and that hasn't changed. So, yeah, just keep at it.
Absolutely. And coming back to practice, you hear stories about how Dream Theater used to practice 8 hours a day, and that may be like, yeah, sure, the results show themselves, but it's a little bit overkill. If you get 15, 20 minutes a day just to pick up a guitar and have a play with it, man, that's enough.
Also, you have to pick up that guitar and not play and stand in front of a mirror and put on red face paint and paint your nails or do whatever the fuck you do. And there are photos of me like that.
Good.
And develop your stage presence. Because fuck me, standing there and noodling and not moving is not that entertaining a lot of the times.
Absolutely. The visual is just as important as the sound, if not more.
Yep.
That is some
smoking
solid
mirror.
fucking advice.
Yeah.
Like,
The amount of times I've dealt with fucking people in bands who don't practice moving around in the rehearsal space, and then you say to them, you need to be moving around, and they're like, oh, I just do it on stage. Like, why do I have to do that at rehearsal? It's like, because if you don't do it at rehearsal, you won't do it on stage. And then invariably, they do exactly that. They'll be stood there on stage with their feet locked in position, watching their fucking hands the whole time, and it'll be like, oh, it's at that one bit where it's like the chuggy fucking, I can headbang on that bit, right? And then it goes back to anything more complicated than that, and they're like having to watch their hands again. It's like,
What you said to me straight after Avatar when you watched the video of
You were made
for
for big
stage. The big stage. I remember being up there going, this is a lot of room. I'm going to have to make tracks. And I did. And all I wanted to do was stand on every square foot of that stage. And even though they had their drum kit, our amps were forward, which kind of basically cut the back half of the space away. And Alanis was sitting on the other side of the drum kit. So we only had the front of the stage, but the full width of it. And just moving around as much as possible. And now me and Kyle have wirelesses. It's even worse.
Yeah, the size of the stage wasn't.
Doesn't matter. The room.
I jumped off the stage and ran into the middle of the audience.
I must say, I do that most gigs. I didn't have the balls to do it at Avatar, so next big gig, I'm going to fuck off with him, and he's going to be on stage on his own.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
well, that's it.
But at the end of the day, it all comes down to entertainment. Like people aren't coming to a show to hear your music; they're coming to a show to see you play.
Perform. Yeah.
Perform
is the key word that I think a lot of people forget.
Because you've got everything you need for a night of entertainment right here in your living room. You've got your TV with your Netflix, you got your PlayStation, you've got TikTok. What do you need to drive an hour to a pub to pay for overpriced beer and see a band play? You got to make it worth people's while.
Yeah, exactly.
Amen.
And that's one of the things. Like when it comes down to practicing performance, practicing moving around, practicing playing without watching your hands, practicing. Because it's so, nuclear vision. We wear masks. Like that limits, ironically, our vision on stage when we're trying to play shit. Like,
interesting.
Like my mask, it kind of sits a little bit out from my face, just the type of design it is.
So you got no down look, yeah.
So I don't have a lot of down vision, and it's very tunnel vision. And I've just ordered a new one that is hopefully going to be not quite so bad with it. But if I have to look at the neck of the bass, it's very, very obvious that's where I'm looking, because I have to really turn my head towards it.
Remember Mick Thompson's original mask, like the leather one? He's like constantly doing these ones. Straight up couldn't see it.
And that's it. And that's
Michael? How you doing,
perfect.
dude? We got our first person in for the chat.
Hey,
how
Michael.
you going, Michael? What's going on, dude? Thanks for tuning in.
So that's it. That's a great example of a band. You know that like you watch all the best bands and they don't watch their hands. They're
Yeah.
not watching
They're
their hands at
looking
all.
out at this at the crowd.
Yes.
I remember I saw Gojira. I think it was at the Roundhouse again. Like I was in front of Jean Michael, if his name was the bass player. That guy is so goddamn engaging. He was there, like connecting the front row, just smiling, having a great time, and in turn, we were having a great time.
Oh, if
I
you can
think-
smile, mate. I remember seeing buddy James Hetfield just the crowd
Beaming.
parted and I saw him just standing there and like he could have been putting it on, but he was standing there and his jaw was open and he was just looking out, just like holy fuck, and that made me go.
Well, there's a Lamb of God DVD, and like Lamb of God does so many DVDs, I don't even know which one it is, but I remember them talking about one of their tours, and there was a section in a song that's a fairly intricate run, not like a solo necessarily, but it's a fairly intricate run of notes, and one of the guys was like, I wanted to get better at playing it without looking, so I decided to he would have decided to freak out. I think it was Mark was trying to freak out Willie, and so he was just like, instead of watching his hands, he'd just try and stare at Willie for as long as he could, like in rehearsal, on stage, everything, and it got to the point where Willie noticed, and he would start staring back, and so they would have basically like a staring contest with both of them playing this bit. And you can't do that you can't do fun shit like that if you have to look at your hands.
If you can rehearse your songs to muscle memory, then you're golden. Then you can have the comfort and the confidence to sort of do whatever you want, engage with the crowd, smile, kick the drummer in the head, whatever you want.
Yeah.
We do a fun thing during Take My Eyes where we get to a bit where we're just running octave chords. So we turn to each other and we play each other's guitars. And every time we do it, it sounds like absolute shit. Although lately we've been getting pretty good at it because we just do it so much.
There was a band that I remember seeing 20 years ago called, and they were very kind of hodgepodge of different genres mixed together, but they were called National Pornographic, and they used to do this thing where the guitarist and the bass player would take their guitars kind of behind themselves so that it was still horizontal but behind them, and then they would lean around each other and play the other's instrument.
That's fucking
so it was like a musical reach around, is what you're saying.
So yeah, and it just made for like a cool visual on stage, and they like played it for comedy, and they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm playing the other guy's instrument," but it was very just it was kind of silly and kind of tongue in cheek, but also very fun and memorable, obviously, because I still fucking remember it 20 years later. Hell, I've tried to do it in other bands that I've been in. I've been like, "Yo, we should do this thing," and everyone's like, you're a loser. What do you want to do that for?
Oh,
I'm
B
like,
camp.
Yeah, I'm like, because it's fun.
We move the guitars at the same time and all that.
If I can figure out what apparatus ZZ Top had to swing the guitars around like that, I'd fucking do it.
Absolutely.
That's all right.
Make eye contact.
That's
eye contact.
Eye contact.
Yes. How simple is that?
That's all developing different parts of the professional craft. If there's any young musicians watching, my advice would be work on the professional craft. Either A, work on your stage craft, or B, work on how you connect with professionals in the industry. So when we played Avatar, we showed up 20 minutes early. We got our shit in. We got out of the fucking way. They didn't hear a goddamn thing from us until it was time for us to get up and do our sound check. And then we played exactly the time we were given. And then I shook AJ's hand at the end of the night, and then we fucked off.
Yep.
Be professional on and off stage.
Absolutely.
Very
absolutely.
good advice.
Let's
My
take
dear
it.
wife is here.
Hello, dear wife.
Hello, dear wife.
Hello.
This is our makeup artist, and Kyle.
Well, we're not technically married yet. We're getting married in about 3 weeks in Hobbiton.
Hey.
Oh, well, congratulations on the upcoming wedding. I hope it goes well, and I hope it's a beautiful time. Thank you for letting us borrow your hubby for a couple of hours. Let's
take longer.
Let's go to our next segment if Kyle's ready to hit the thing.
I am.
All right, well, let's go to the next segment.
Come on, if you want to fight, come on then.
Get in the bin.
Are you enjoying the weather there, mate? What? Are you enjoying the weather there?
Back
And we're back. We were right back after these messages. This is Get in the Bin,
Our
formerly known
favourite
by
segment.
another name. It is our favorite segment of the podcast. It is where we ask our wonderful guests if they could gather all the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet and have the power of Thanos to just snap their fingers
One of them
and
does have the Infinity Gauntlet.
eliminate something. Yep,
Can I do
eliminate
it?
something from the industry. What would it be and why? We will get one from each of you. Gentlemen, when you are ready, whoever wants to go first, what would you eliminate from the music industry and why?
Egos.
No.
No.
Egos. That's such an easy answer, but ego is important, all right? So, like, when I'm up on
The
stage,
toxic egos.
when I'm on stage, my ego can be as big and as toxic as I want it to be, because that's what makes people pay. If I'm not getting up there thinking what I have to say is worth a damn, ain't no one going to listen to it.
No,
Get
but
off
you
stage.
leave it on
the ego
stage.
comes. Yeah, leave it on
time and
stage.
place.
Yeah, a lot of us.
Okay,
become a
the
completely
offstage
different
ego.
person.
That's the thing I'm talking about, not the onstage.
Again, like if I didn't have an offstage ego, I wouldn't be here talking to these gentlemen, thinking the people watching want to hear the thing I'm saying.
You just want your pick to be egos.
That's right. No, he just wants my pick to be wrong. He's been waiting all night.
And why is
So now
that?
we're all done with
Why is
bullshit
that?
answers.
Because he has an ego.
I would eliminate dead space. Like, I think one of the things that we like to do is we like to practice our songs in blocks. So, like, we'll play one song straight into the next song, tune, next song straight into the next song, straight into the next song. So, one of the things I love about seeing bands live is, like they don't sort of necessarily announce every single song. They sort of just break into a familiar riff, and you hear the audience fucking go off like, oh, "Fuck, I play this one." You don't need to sort of get up in between every song and so this next song is called da 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 da.
Even that has its merits sometimes.
Sometimes,
But, like,
in moderation.
with Dead Space, I completely agree. Though, like we've all had it. You're playing in a band, the song finishes, and then you turn around and look at the guy and look at you guys and go, "What are we doing now?" And like you get that kind of awkward moment there.
Yeah.
Dead Space is something that we work hard to obliterate. Like even when we have to change tunings, we've got a drum solo that goes over the top of everyone tuning, and then we've got like a quiet song that I play while everyone tunes their guitars, and I have to quickly
Yeah, we live in a time where people sort of like crave and almost demand constant entertainment.
We play our first note and then we finish when we play our last. Like it's
very good.
So you've got to sort of like fight to keep people's attention,
Yeah.
Because
like no stopping for a chat.
Yeah,
we're not giving you that toilet break.
You see, like the energy's up, like playing a great song, the energy's going, but then when you stop and you take a breather for a few seconds and you have a look around, the energy just drops and the mood's sort of like sort of killed,
It's important to keep something happening there for sure.
And Pink
whether
and
it's
Pinky Moi.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think that might be a bot.
Okay.
We'll just leave it.
Wait, is it Pinky?
Yeah.
No. It's a.
Do you know someone named Pinky?
Yes. We know someone like Pinky. We love Pinky.
Pinky's the best.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's a bot.
We love you. We adore you. We've got good things for you only.
I think it's a bot. But anyway.
Okay. We love Pinky Bot then.
Hi, Pinky Bot.
But I agree. I agree that Dead Space is something that a lot of bands need to be more mindful of. There's like we tried with and again this is something that like I've talked to been in bands and I'm like, we need to do transitions from songs. Like we need to transition from one song into the next. We need to plan how we're gonna and they just look at me like I'm talking another fucking language. Like I don't like it's what
separates it. I mean,
you think about how you think about how the professionals do it. You go to a concert and you watch Slipknot, Metallica, whatever. Like they have bits between. They might have samples between songs. They'll have transitions between songs. They have bits where one song leads directly into the next song. It's just like
Corey Taylor talking again.
Yeah.
But like you're right. It is that like it's part of the performance, and I think. When I was younger and I was just like, let's play the song, then it was like, cool, play the song, stop, play the song, stop. But when we started finding ourselves wanting to get to that next level, It was those little details, like taking out that dead noise and how we engage with the
Yes.
audience. That's your
There's-
pathway to
It's these little
next
things that people. It's how you separate yourself. It's like
Mm.
I've talked to people about when I'm trying to put bands together at different times, and it's just performing your songs well, just having good songs and performing them well is not enough. Is not enough, and it sucks to say that, but
Yeah.
there's a thousand bands out there that have good songs and play them well. How are you going to make yourself stand out?
Well,
And
there's
it's
a big,
you need to think about your stage performance, your professionalism, your not just your stage performance, but your stage look. Do you guys need to have a distinct look on stage? Whether that be not if it's not a uniform, some sort of consistency in what you guys are wearing on stage across the band. You don't want to be getting.
Just this year we've started experimenting with costumes and face paint and whatnot.
the
I think that's
makeup.
gonna
The
stay.
makeup was a game changer. The second we
Yeah.
did that, we all got so
Yeah.
much better so
Yeah.
quickly.
That's it, and it's people can argue, oh well, it's too gimmicky. Like I don't want people to know us for the gimmick. I want people to know us for the music. It's like, well, yeah, that's fair, but like people, how are you going to get people's attention? How are you going to? You need to get people's attention at first.
Yeah,
And-
like you want to look interesting as well.
And like we said before, the performance matters. People don't go just to hear songs; they go to see a performance. And if you're just not delivering that, why are they going to go and see you over listening to the album at home?
Whenever I hear someone talk about it, I don't hear them say, "Oh, they played this song really, really well." They say stuff like, "Oh man, they performed the fuck out of that set."
Yep.
Yeah.
You had an awesome set.
That's the stuff people remember.
You
Plus,
didn't
as
play
far
the-
as gimmicks go, they're fun. Like honestly, getting dressed up and like putting on weird outfits and painting our faces and stuff and coming out and being like, "Ooh, it's spooky." It's
That's
fun.
the
It's
point.
really
That's-
fucking fun.
So
It's one of the
Kyle
things I enjoy
looks
about
like
Nuclear
that.
Vision.
Kyle looks like that, and I look like this, but we've come through some very similar stuff in our youth with the black nail polish and the fucking face paint and all that kind of stuff and that we experimented with when we were kids. And I sit out the back, and it's not like who's getting their makeup on. That's okay, right? I like going last, and it's just my thing because I like to get that on and be like, now that that's on, it's on. It's now stage mode.
It lets you become a
the
different
hat's
character.
on.
Yeah,
Yep.
stage persona comes out.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I
That's
could
why I've
eliminate-
enjoyed so much about doing everything I've been doing with Nuclear Vision. It's like I've done the face paint thing with Acid Nymph. I've done, the regular metal shit. I've done the very just like normal dudes. And I've done, now I'm doing the mask thing, right? Like it allows for different types of performances. It allows for different characters and different sides of yourself to be presented. It allows you to draw on elements of yourself that you don't normally get to visit when you're engaging in that sort of thing. And it helps the performance by allowing you to be, I think, more extreme in a lot of ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm never going to knock the jeans and t-shirt look, but I think if you put on a costume or something like that, you sort of like you become this other thing. It sort of helps you separate your street self versus your stage self.
It's
Definitely.
it's an acting thing. That theater of cruelty, putting on a character, and like having that character on stage is important. Like I've got a different me for everywhere I go. Like there's the me that's talking to you. There's the me that's going to go upstairs to my wife. The me that teaches kids. The me on stage, and they all have different purposes and different functions. By the way, this is the biggest dog and the smallest cat getting along. I'm going to bring this closer so you guys can proper see this. But
They made them self-conscious.
look at that.
Hold
She
on.
cleans him. Like she proper grooms him.
Oh.
I like that. That's
But
good.
yeah, if I had to eliminate something from the music industry, it would be exposure. Honestly, I hate the idea of.
Then what are we going to get paid in?
It sucks for younger bands because like you've got these younger bands and photographers and everyone involved is working for the idea of getting the possibility to get more work. Whenever we like I see it a lot with photographers at the moment. A lot of really good photographers in the Sydney scene are just stopping because no one's fucking paying them.
Yeah, it's called
Like,
exploitation. I'm sorry. As soon as you turn around and you go, look, this is really good exposure for you. That's you're circumnavigating the pay structure, and you are a fucking shyster.
Yeah, pay your fucking bands, pay your fucking like.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not in any band. So once again, I've got no skin in the game. Fucking pay the people that are paying. Pay them
Even
something.
if you promised $100
Pay
and
them
a slap on the arm.
Yeah.
Do not
Like,
do not give that shit excuse of exposure. You're fucking
No,
better than
like,
that.
the photographer we're working with a lot at the moment, Courtney Stark. If you're listening, we love you, Courtney. She's very new to the game, like very new to it. Only been really doing photography this year. And when she came to take our photos in Melbourne, she didn't know what to charge us. Like, and she was like, "Oh no, you guys are friends. We can just no." So I went around and like talked to a bunch of photographers we've worked with in the past and went, "What do you charge?" The show we did in Penrith a couple of months back, Glenn Morgan, his name is, great guy, great photographer. He contacted us after the show and went, "I've got these pictures for you." And I went, "Cool. How much do you want per picture?" We pay the people that we work with, and we try and stand by that.
Yeah.
Next year we've got this boat show coming up, and Tom from Carnal Viscera, he's put together a pay structure. Every band is getting a 250 guarantee or something,
yeah.
like, and then like whatever comes from door sales potentially. I'm not too sure, but there are people who are seeing value in paying your artists. I don't care if you're like Tom, Dick, and Harry that's just come out of the garage, or you've traveled half the world to be here. Get fucking paid.
See, I think this is one of the things where I'm like, I'm sure you've probably seen it. There's a big push for like a musicians union. There's a musicians union out there that's, they're trying to do the good fight and get, guaranteed minimum pay for shows and things like that. And it's like, okay, cool. I understand where they're coming from, and I hope that they're successful. But and maybe I'm just being too cynical, but I am doubtful that there will be success in something like that, because for the very reason that the only way that musicians and bands could guarantee that we're going to get paid for every show that we play, a fair rate for every show that we play, is full strike. Like no band plays any gigs until venues and organizers and promoters agree we're going to pay bands fairly.
The
problem is
as well.
The problem is no one's going to agree to that.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
never going to happen.
You're never going to get unanimous agreement from musicians on what a fair rate is, but that's beside the point. Even if, because music, it's not necessarily an individual thing, but you can have a bunch of bands that are like going to group together and say, no, we're going to take a stand. We're not going to play any shows until this gets, until there's a fair rate. There's 1,000 bands that'll get up there and play the show.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why. So no one's going to take that stand, because all that's going to happen is they're not going to get any gigs, and everyone else is going to be out playing gigs.
Yeah.
The next band's going to come along and play the shows, and you are never going to convince every band to get on the same page about it. Unfortunately, I think that's just. I'm hopeful that I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's just the reality of the situation.
At the moment, the way I'm kind of trying to go about it is, it's not so much making a stand by not playing, but it's making an example. Like, I mean, we have a bit of wind under us, and we do have a lot of younger bands that we've played with that kind of look to us for guidance and shit like that. So if we're on a bill, I make sure the bands are getting paid. Like if I'm running it, they're getting paid. If there's 100%. A photographer, they're getting paid. And if there's 100%. A promoter that refuses to pay their people, or a venue, we don't play it.
And that's the thing. Like that's the only way that we can lead to try and get change, is by leading by example in that scenario. Doing what you guys are doing like that. The thing is, there's always going to be promoters that want to that want to rip people off, and there's always going to be bands that are happy to play just to play the show because that's what they want to do. They just want to be playing the show.
Absolutely. But like if we're
And
on a
I'm
show
not
and we find out that
I'm not critiquing those bands for doing what they want to do to get themselves out there and to play those shows if they want to play those shows. It's just that's one of the reasons that I think, unfortunately, we're not going to see, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong and that the change that we want to see can come about.
the grounds are changing a bit. Like I remember about 10 years ago, like you guys probably remember this. They used to take the name of when an audience member would go in, they'd say, "Who are you here to see?" And you get paid based off the audience members you brought in. And that was a shit go because like you'd get someone bringing all their friends and then collecting some cash, and you get someone that plays a main show and they get like $5. So that's changed. But like, I mean, shit, we've had times where we've played with bands and they haven't gotten paid as well as us. So I've paid them out of my own fucking pocket. Like it's important that the people with us get paid and see the value in what they do.
That's a big one.
My concern is like this minimum pay thing. Like it's you got to sort of like set it reasonably. Otherwise, the same thing is going to happen to the local scene as what happens to the record companies. All these venues are only going to take a chance on the bigger acts.
Yes,
that they know are going to recoup the money and not give a chance to the smaller acts.
Agreed. Look, it's a minefield, and it's such a difficult thing to tread, and it's far more complex and involved and challenging to solve than we could even do in 1,000 episodes of the podcast. So, but it's something that it's a topic that I think is always on a lot of people's minds, and I applaud you guys for doing the honourable thing in trying to ensure that you're only working in things where people are doing that. But look, we've got to take this home. So let's get back to this. So as we said, you guys are playing Steel Assassins tomorrow.
Yes.
And what else you got coming up? So you got one in December, you said?
Yeah, we've got the Rockdale Metal Fest run by Battle God Productions. We love you, Peter. Thanks for putting us up for that.
And that one's on the 9th?
Yep, the 9th of December. That's going to have us, Cunt Squad, Dirty Tricks, a whole bunch of really cool bands. Cunt Squad are great. I love those guys.
Was it 12 bands in 12 hours?
Yeah, 12 bands in 12 hours.
Midday to midnight.
He also has every hour, he's got a shuttle going from like the train station to the venue, which again, like it's little things like that that make it really fucking cool. I really like that.
Let's take all our gear on that or not?
We've also got Ram It Down in December on the 15th. We've just recently jumped on that, so that's a nice local Camden one. And next year, there's our big fucking shebang. On the 11th of January, we have a show that we're playing on a motherfucking boat with Simo's Dive. So that's going to be a big fucker of a thing. That's got it's got a bunch of bands on it. So it's got us, Tomorrow's New Format, Snake Witch, War Rages Within, and I can't remember what Pinky's band's name is.
On the poster it says Pinky's band.
Yeah, on the band.
That's not the band's name, though. We've gotten in trouble for that. We're getting more trouble now because we've all got names.
You want to know? Come find out, yeah.
Pinky, if you're not a bot, tell us what the name is.
For the downstairs, it's just going to be all bands, and we've got a hula hoop duo who does like LED hula hoops. So the Hoop Babes, they're going to be downstairs with us in the bands. Tristan from Terrorential.
Yeah, nice.
His partner Shani, she's going to be doing some LED fire show stuff because we're not allowed fire on the boat. We've also got a drag king, Dante Inferno, emceeing for the bands, and then Pinky's going to do some pole dance.
Nice.
And upstairs we've also got on the middle floor we have a whole section dedicated to burlesque, run by Dollhouse Cabaret. So they're going to be running a full burlesque show.
Oh, it's going to be everything. The whole show is going to be like visual, music and fucking
and then,
all the sex and the entertainment and everything.
Yeah, that's it. Top floor. We've also got a couple of people who do freak show stuff.
Freak shows, yeah. Can't forget the freak shows.
Yeah. And then top floor, we've got Metal fucking Matt running DJ on the roof, smoking area, under the stars, going through Sydney Harbour. Fucking. We love you, Matt, if you're listening. Metal Matt's
going,
fucking man. So yeah, it's going to be a full thing, and like this is what we kind of want. This is the direction we want to go in. It's not just like playing the music, and then it's not just us putting on our show, it's putting on a big fucking event.
Yeah, it's gonna be just a full night of entertainment.
That's
so the
awesome.
event's
So that's
up on
Freaks.
Facebook.
That's Freaks on the Bay on January 11th.
Freaks on the Bay.
Freaks on the Bay.
Awesome. All right. Well, get yourself along to one of those shows. Go and follow PYREFLY on all of the places. What's the handle in most places? Just PYREFLY?
PYREFLY Music or PYREFLY Band.
Nice.
All right. Go and check that out. They're on all the socials. Go and follow them. Go and check them out on Spotify and all those good places so that you can be the first to hear the new album when it comes out next year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to get you boys back to talk about it when it comes out.
100%.
Absolutely, anytime.
Well, that's about it from us tonight. Thank you very much to our very, very fine guests for jumping on and having a chat with us this evening. Thank you to my co-host, Kyle, a.k.a. Beer Buddy. I am Raf. Next week, we don't have a live one, but we've got a very, very special one coming for you guys.
We
So
do.
maybe we got one of our international ones coming up next week. So keep an eye out for that one next Thursday. Thank you to everyone who's watched. Thank you to the people who were in the chat, even if I still don't know if that one was a bot or not, but whatever. I apologize if you were not. And yeah, that's it from us, guys. Thank you very much. Peace out, and we'll catch you on next week.
See you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like when you call my name, it's like a little prayer. Down on my knees, I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power. It's just like a prayer. I wanna take you there. I hear your voice. It's like an angel sighing. I have no choice. I hear your voice. Feels like flying. I close my eyes. Oh God, I think I'm falling out of the sky. I close my eyes. Heaven help me. When you call my name, it's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power. It's just like a prayer. I wanna take you there. Like a child, you whisper softly to me. You're in control, just like a child. Now I'm dancing. It's like a dream. No end and no beginning. You're here with me. It's like a dream. Let the choir sing. When you call my name, it's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power. Just like a prayer, I wanna take you there. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. Just like a prayer, your voice can't take me there. Just like the muse to me, you are a mystery. Just like a dream, you are not what you seem. Just like the prayer of choice, your voice can't take me there. It's like a dream to me. Just like a prayer, I'll take you there. It's like a dream to me. Just like a prayer, I'll take you there. It's like a dream to me. Just like a prayer, I'll take you there. It's like a dream to me. Just like a prayer, your voice can't take me there. Just like it used to be, you are in history. Just like a dream, you are not what you seem. Just like